Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to download this standing broad jump reference for your single foot character jump animation. So this is where you find the jumping animation. First go to YouTube and search for this title, standing broad jump side view. So if you search in YouTube, you should be able to find it in the first link here, standing broad jump side view. So go right ahead and copy the link and go over to this website called keepvid.com and paste the link onto keepvid.com and click on the download button. Okay, you'll be presented with the download links. Go ahead and download the highest quality version, which is the maximum 480p version. Okay, once you have downloaded the video, open the video in QuickTime. Okay, and once you are in QuickTime, okay, make sure that you change the, instead of displaying the time code here, right, so instead of displaying the time code, change it to frame number. Okay, so change it to frame number by clicking on the button here. So now it displays it in frame. So what we are going to do is we are going to use another program called the snipping tool. Okay, go right ahead in your Windows in the search button and look for snipping tool by typing SNIPPING, and then you'll be able to find the snipping tool and run the software. Okay, so what is required now is that you want to capture the keyframes of the jump. So in the QuickTime player, you should be able to scrub the timeline and examine the jump of this person. Okay, so I'm going to scrub forward until I reach about frame 50, because this is where I'm going to use it as the master start pose. So in my snipping tool, I'm going to click on new to start capturing. Okay, start at the top left corner and drag a box down to capture the first frame at frame 50. Make sure you also capture the frame number as well. Okay, and go and save this. Save it into a folder. Okay, so save it into a folder that I have prepared here on the desktop. So I'm going to call this pose number 1, frame 50. And I'm going to save it as a default PNG, and then I'm going to continue to scrub forward in the timeline in the QuickTime player. And the next keyframe I identify, or next key pose I identify, is when he moves his hip down. So from frame 50, he moves it down at the lowest point to do the anticipation, which is about frame 62. Okay, so on your player it might be 61 or 62. For my player it says frame 62. So I'm going to continue capturing it. Okay, using the snipping tool again, click on new frame and capture the next key pose, which is frame 62. Then I'm going to save it. Okay, pose number 2, frame 62. Let's save. Okay, then I'm going to capture the next frame. Okay, I'm going to find the spot where he leans the lowest. Okay, just before he's about to take off. I think frame 75 is good, so I'm going to capture frame 75 using the snipping tool again. Do the same thing, drag a box and capture the entire frame, including the frame number, and then I'm going to save this. This is frame 75. And this is pose number 3. Okay, continuing by scrubbing forward to the next pose. Okay, maybe around frame 82. This is the part where the ball of his feet is actually bent forward. Okay, so I'm gonna capture this frame using the snipping tool again. Okay, save. This will be frame pose number 4, and this will be frame 82, I believe, if I remember correctly. Okay, yeah, it's frame 82. So let's continue, frame 82, and I'm going to scroll forward to a point where his toe is like tiptoeing just before he leaves the ground. So this is frame 84. So I'm going to capture it again. Frame 84, and then I'm going to save this. This is frame 84. Pose number 5. Should have 5 more frames to go. Okay, then I'm going to scrub forward to the point where his feet is bent up in the air. So this is about frame 89. So I'm going to capture another frame. This is frame 89. Save this. Frame 89. This is pose number 6. Save. Continue. Okay, 94 will be the next frame where his foot is actually almost perpendicular to the ground. Frame 94. Frame 94. And this will be pose number 7. Let's see. Okay, as I scrub the timeline forward, I want to find the frame where his foot is touching the ground, which is frame 96. This is the part where his foot makes contact with the ground. I'm going to save this. Frame 96. This will be pose number 8. I'm going to continue scrubbing forward. So actually the next frame would be our next keyframe because his foot is now completely flat on the ground. So that is the frame that I want to capture. Okay, this is frame 97. Pose number 9. Frame 97. Okay. And then finally, there will be a pose where he squats down really low at the lowest point, which is about frame 104. Okay, so we have captured all the main keyframes, and we also know the frame difference between each pose. That means the frame number between each pose. And this would be pose number 10, frame number 4. Okay, so I can close the snipping tool now. I can close the QuickTime player. Now inside my jump reference folder, I have all the key poses which I can quickly review by pressing my keyboard. Okay, by pressing left and right on my cursor, I can review the key poses. And I can also know which are the frames, okay, the pose are in. Okay, so that is the end of this video of preparing the keyframes, okay, for animation.